Bryony Horgan, Professor of Planetary Science at Purdue University. Perseverance is just about to leave the delta in Jezero Crater, heading toward the edge and the rim of Jezero Crater. But in the meantime, we're going to explore the margin, which is this really interesting region just outside of the delta, right at elevations where the ancient shorelines of a lake in Jezero might have existed. And what's interesting is right at those elevations, we see really strong signatures of the mineral carbonate from orbit. Carbonate's important because it's a mineral that forms in water and precipitates out of that water. And so we're hopeful we might find ancient beach deposits in this area. We're really excited about looking at these really strong carbonate signatures in the margin unit because when carbonates precipitate out of water on Earth, they're really good at trapping whatever's living in the water. In particular, we often see carbonates forming in shallow lakes on the Earth, and when they precipitate out of those lakes, they can trap whole microbial communities that are living along the shores of those lakes. And they can make big structures that we like to call stromatolites or microbialites. And we see these forming on Earth today, but we also see them in the ancient geologic record on Earth, and they're one of the best pieces of evidence we have for the persistence of life going back billions of years on Earth. So we'd be very excited if we saw something like that in the margin unit today. We don't know if we'll find it, but it's one of the things we're looking for. One of the reasons we're excited about the possibility of something like a microbialite on Mars is because you can see those structures with the cameras on board the rover. It's the kind of thing where it can form from abiotic processes, but it's a big waving flag saying, hey, look at me, I might preserve signs of ancient microbial life. So we can identify those rocks, take a sample of them, look for organics with the instruments we have on board the rover, and then bring a sample back to Earth to see whether or not they're microbial in origin. If we found signs of ancient microbial life on Mars, that would be a huge deal. It would be one of the biggest findings of our generation. Because right now we really have no data on how common life is on the universe outside of Earth. If we were able to show that microbial life in fact did exist on ancient Mars in a planet really right in our backyard in our own solar system, that tells us that life is in fact incredibly common, and that's a very exciting discovery. So I'm really excited to be getting into the margin because I spent a lot of time looking at this area from orbit from our NASA satellites and writing papers on it and thinking about it. We've done a lot of work on Earth looking at microbialites forming in lakes that we think were like ancient Lake Jezero. And so I'm really excited to see whether or not the margin is going to pan out as a possible ancient beach in Jezero Crater.